What is happening, guys? Call of Duty Black Ops Kid here, coming at you with some Mario Kart Tour beta information, release date, all that kind of stuff. This is going to be everything we know about Mario Kart Tour. I'm going to be talking about some of the microtransactions, the arenas, everything that you can expect from Mario Kart Tour, which is Mario Kart basically mobile on iOS and Android. It is coming free to play on iOS and Android later this year, possibly this summer. That's what it's been saying. I've actually been able to play some of the closed beta, so I can give you some more information. Technically, I'm not supposed to give like screenshots and stuff, but you can actually check things out. So from sheer standpoint, Mario Kart Tour is actually a pretty solid when it comes to the graphics. The game path to monetization is definitely one of the biggest things that I have experienced. In this version, your cart automatically accelerates, so that's something to consider. So you use your fingers to steer left or right, tap weapon items to activate them, with a flip forward or backwards in the direction as needed. I would love to officially show you what it looks like, but I can't. They've expressly forbidden any screen or video capture, and anyone that's done it obviously gets hit with a strike. It's really hard to show anything, but I can pretty much clarify on what things are going on. On my personal smartphone, Samsung Galaxy Note 9, Mario Kart Tour renders Wii U caliber 3D imagery quite well, and the game's usual characters, go-karts, and lively racetracks all look remarkable and bubbly, with 3D geometry benefiting a handsome polygon budget, with my test run at a solid 60 frames per second and apparent to 1080p resolution with some stutters and frame rate here and there. The tracks that I were able to see, whether or not they're actually going to be more or DLC later. Here's the tracks. It's SNES Mario Kart 1, Choco Island 2 SNES, GameCube Dino Jungle, DS Luigi Mansion, Nintendo 64 Koopa Troopa Beach, Nintendo 64 Calamari Desert, Game Boy Advance Bowser's Castle 1, 3DS Toad Circuit, 3DS Daisy Hills, 3DS Shy Guys Bazaar, 3DS Mario Kart Circuit, and 3DS Rock Mountain. Additionally, the SNES version of Rainbow Road appears, but only in Coin Rush mode, that players automatically steer through a no-death version to amass the game's coin currency. Getting into Coin Rush requires in-game currencies. Additionally, every racetrack appears to be a port of an existing classic series track, a great idea to keep costs down and keep fans happy for a free-to-play game, in my opinion, but that exposes the game's weirdest design restriction. Most Mario Kart racetracks benefit from a wider field of view, so that players can keep an eye out for oncoming turns, hunt for shortcuts, position themselves for item pickups, and aim weapons at opponents. Yet Mario Kart Tour mandates that players hold onto their phones in portrait orientation. Portrait is straight up and down. Mario Kart Tour, for some reason, puts the camera pretty tightly behind racers. As a result, if you haven't memorized the track or get stuck behind a random obstacle, like a giant dinosaur stomping feat in Mario Kart's Dino Double Dash, expect a flummoxed by the camera limitation. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has the same kind of flourishing, where if you get near walls, it automatically drives you away from near wall collisions. Basically, it steers you away from walls, pitfalls, stuff like that. So that is something coming. We will only be able to play with bots. I wasn't able to play online because their online service hasn't been on yet. But Mario Kart Tour pretty much, It's kind of odd the way it runs, but I would love to show you guys some more later within weeks to come when Nintendo actually lets me release gameplay. I have quite a bit of gameplay, 3 hours of gameplay. There's a motion sensing option which allows you to tilt your phone for small nudges while otherwise drifting using your fingers. Test its current beta implementation, which triggered too many false turn attempts. So it really plays pretty well. The camera's pretty tight, I would say. It follows really close to your character, probably more like N64 like quality camera controls. Now, I'm going to go over to some of the things: timers, loot boxes, and pay to win issues. Now for the very, very, very bad news. I'm going to list the beta's current smartphone nonsense issues. First, you can't use real money in the game's beta, period. Second, any of the below issues could change between now and the game's public free-to-play versions coming out later this year. With that out of the way, Mario Kart Tour has timers. Your ability to play the game is gated behind a hearts currency. Every start of the race costs 1 heart. Your default meter maxes out at 5 hearts. It takes roughly 12 minutes for a heart to refill. 12 minutes for a single heart to refill, while the game's opening portion constantly refills hearts as part of one of its early leveling up process. It's unclear at what point this ample heart supply runs out and players are stuck either waiting on timers or spending a emerald currency for more hearts, which can be earned in-game or eventually paid for with real-world money. Additionally, the game's progression system to access new tracks through a single-player campaign is hard-gated by its own set of timers. Waiting a full hour before I can unlock the game's Toadette Cup of 3 courses. Even though I've otherwise met its requirements of other progress, there is no way to pay for in-game currency or real-world money to unlock that speed up. Mario Kart Tour also has loot boxes. The game's aforementioned emeralds are required to access the game's loot. Spending 5 emeralds, no idea how much that real-world money, to get single random unlock of a mascot character, a go-kart model, or a glider accessory. Unlike past games, differing characters and carts don't agree to come with standard control trade-offs like strength, acceleration, top speed, and so on. Instead, each of the pickups varies in rarity, and the rarity indicates how much they're affecting major racing factors like top speed, coin earning rates, and with race likelihood of being. The ability of holding mid-race items at once and multipliers for your driver points total at the end of a race. The last one is a real kicker because the progress of single-player campaign isn't getting first place. It's about gaming Mario Kart Tour's driving point system, which affected by your end of race standing, but also by mid-race actions like number of items used, number of mini boosts triggered by drifting, number of jumps, and by the DP attached to whatever character is being in the race. To recap, emeralds can be spent on new characters, carts, gliders, and hearts. Hearts are required to start new races. Coins can be spent on new characters, carts, and gliders. Driver points are earned for your characters, carts, and gliders by grinding through repeated races. Stars are earned by racking up enough driver points in each race, and you can acquire enough stars to unlock new cups. Oh, and there's also tickets, which you can spend on enhancing your skills for any of your characters, carts or gliders, or to access Coin Rush mode. Nintendo has not confirmed exactly what Mario Kart Tour currencies can be bought with real-world money, nor how much each will cost. Mario Kart Tour endlessly needless players about the assault on the structure of the classic Mario Kart games, as in a pick of favorite character, freely race in familiar courses, and unlock new stuff by standard gameplay mechanics with a paradigm blown up by an obnoxious blue shell of in-app economics and no apparent way to access multiplayer with either friends or strangers. I'm disappointed by Mario Kart's current state. Obviously, it's in beta. The best I can say is that it presents a very core idea of Mario Kart pretty clearly. A simple touch controls are good enough to show total novices why the series is meant to be blast to play on traditional consoles, but as possible time-killing option for anyone takes Mario Kart the slightest bit seriously. I'm at a loss. Players might be willing to forgive sloppy, imprecise controls and shrug off the smartphone world's need to monetize free-to-play games, but having both issues in the same product is too much. Mario Kart Tour right now has a lot of problems. Obviously, I expected something like this to be happening since the game was supposed to be coming free-to-play earlier or next year. We covered this video pretty much a couple months ago, telling everyone what's new with Mario Kart Tour. And I figured that either you're going to have to pay for extra maps. Obviously, this isn't the case, but if you want to continue playing, you'll have to spend emeralds, characters, stuff like that. You can, of course, earn them in-game, but it's easier just to buy them. I'm curious to how much they spend. It doesn't have any kind of things like that, but they do say that you can buy them with in-game currencies. I'm still excited regardless of Mario Kart Tour, even if it has lots of microtransactions. I can't wait to show you guys more Mario Kart Tour gameplay, as it's going to be coming very soon, I hope, once Nintendo puts out the disclaimer, because I'd love to show you guys some gameplay. It actually looks really good compared to like Wii U standards, and pretty much like the Switch, but a little bit dumbed down to the Switch. It's more like 720, 60 FPS, but it says 1080. And there's some hiccups on the Note 9, although it has really good processing power. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys really appreciated this content. Hopefully I'll be able to cover more content like this very soon with some gameplay. Would be very cool. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. Make sure you subscribe for more great content just like this every single week. Like the video. Thank you guys. Bye.